Accessories, accessories, accessories. It's been a hot minute since I've talked about all these accessories. These accessories are made for PC, and as such they'll work on any PC handheld including the Steam Deck. So let's talk about this. This is the 8BitDo SM30 Pro, and this time however this comes with Hall effect analog sticks, meaning that they shouldn't ever drift. So yes, you can use this controller to play all of your games on your mobile devices, on your Switch, Steam Deck, PC, or even phones. While this has a full complement of controls meant for every single modern game, I feel like this particular controller is best suited for 2D games, and this is because the SM30 Pro has the D-pad front and center. So the SM30 Pros actually do feel like SNES controllers, and they're certainly shaped like one too. This one, however, is jade colored, and obviously there's no Super Nintendo controllers that came in green, I don't think. I really do like this colorway though, because it's a pretty darn cool looking colorway, and I don't have any controllers that are like bright green like this, you know, like jade colored if you will. It's also like semi-translucent, much like a real jade itself. If you've bought an SM30 Pro before, then know that this version of the controller is the same as it was before, just with Hall effect sticks. Also inside are some instruction manuals, which is good in case you can't remember all the pairing modes off the top of your head, and a USB Type-C cable. That said, this isn't the only controller 8BitDo updated. They've also updated the 8BitDo Pro 2, which I don't have the updated version, but there is a version with Hall effect sticks now. Next up is this product here. This is a Synth Labs Solo. The Solo is a lot of things. It's a macro pad. You can use it as a macro pad plus volume wheel, but its true calling in life is that of a rhythm game controller. It can become a fully featured 2DX controller. You've got the turntable as well as the buttons. Yes, and that's right, you can actually flash some firmware to play some official Beatmania games on your PC. But I'm not subscribed to any of those, so I can't actually play the actual game, so to speak. It also comes with this really snazzy case as well, meaning you can take it with you on the go if so desired. Rhythm games are famously ginormous, and it's nice to see an alternative, a smaller solution, so to speak. That said, the feel is entirely subjective, and it really depends on how comfortable you are with essentially pressing keyboard buttons, because that's what these are. And of course, keyboard switches feel completely different from your arcade button switches, so it really depends on how you feel. While I personally prefer the feel of arcade buttons better, these keyboard buttons are still quite good. It's a minor sacrifice for greater space savings. Now onto the software portion of things. You don't actually download a program, instead you define things by using a website called usevia.app. While the Solo has a default control layout, with Via you can actually change what the buttons do, making it more suitable for whatever rhythm games you want to play. While Via claims that this keypad supports up to 4 separate layers, I haven't found a way to switch layers in a comfortable manner without sacrificing some usable buttons. So I do think if they ever made a Solo 2, they should figure out how to get that set up. And man, I don't remember sucking this badly at this game. Maybe I'm just not used to the controls, but honestly, it feels fine. Now this controller is interesting. This right here is the Nixie Warrior. Much like their previous product, the Nixie Wizard, this is a GameCube style controller, but unlike the Wizard, this is a standalone Bluetooth controller as opposed to some Joy-Cons. So while the Nixie Warrior is GameCube styled, it's not strictly a GameCube controller. It's a modern controller with a full complement of controls. As such, unlike an actual GameCube controller, you get an L1 button, and you get to click your sticks in, and you get a start and select button, and you get a usable D-pad. That said, there are some interesting accessories in this box. It's tucked in a little bit, so you might have to fight a little to get it out, but once you do, you'll be rewarded with all of these accessories. First and foremost is this curious little block here. This looks like a GameCube adapter. This is technically a Nintendo Switch controller, but it seems like you'll be able to use this on your GameCube or Nintendo Wii. I don't have any working units of either of those, so I can't test this functionality yet, unfortunately. But yes, right there, that's meant to go into a GameCube or Wii or GameCube adapter. But if you're just trying to play Smash Ultimate on the Wii, you won't need this adapter. And of course, there are 2 USB Type-C cables, one fairly long one and one that's extremely short, and I can't imagine why they would have this short USB cable. And of course, there's an additional back piece for the controller in case you don't want to play with macro buttons on the back of the controller. which I guess it's time for us to talk about the controller itself. As you can see here, this looks like a GameCube controller, but it's not. It also doesn't really feel like a GameCube controller either. Like, the shape is kind of similar, but the buttons don't feel anything like the real deal. And yes, there are locks on the sticks like the GameCube to make it seem more like an 8-way stick than anything really. As for game feel, I mean, again, this doesn't feel like a GameCube controller, so if you're a Melee purist that plays only on GameCube, then this is not the controller for you. But how does it fare for other games, like Rivals of Aether? I wouldn't say I'm the best at Rivals of Aether or even really that good at the game, but I mean, it feels pretty solid to me. I'm sure actually playing this on a real GameCube controller would be preferable, but I think for most people, I think this is good enough. But the question is, are most people buying this to play a Smash-like game? It's hard to know for certain, but I think it's firmly good enough for the casual Smash player. If you like this video, please press the like button and check out our other videos. And if you like those other videos as well, be sure to press the subscribe button and share the good gospel of high-tech low-life with your friends. Furthermore, we have a community Discord for enlightened individuals such as you. And if you wish to further support high-tech low-life, be sure to check out our Patreon page. Links in the description.